That is deception to the highest degree. It shows that the president deceived Sara Duterte, not only Vice President Sara Duterte, but the entire country. This is a deception.
Ano po yung overall po ninyong assessment naman sa dyan po sa ICC confirmation of charges hearing laban po kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte?
As a whole, it is very clear, as we witnessed, Attorney Nicholas Koopman demolished completely the arguments of the prosecution. And it gives us hope. Parang it gives us a sigh of relief that there is still light in the dark tunnel.
Opo.
Not because that the case is finished, but because the arguments are laid out with precision and discipline. And Attorney Nicholas Koopman has shown to us his deep knowledge of the law, his strategic clarity, and his unshakable composure. Medyo believe tayo sa kanyang performance kasamang Jade at kasamang Advan.
Opo. Doon sa kanyang naging argumento dyan sa ICC confirmation of charges hearing, ano po yung pinakamahalagang punto pong nalaman po ninyo at narinig po ninyo na kumontra doon, no? Sinagot yung mga sinasabi po ng prosekusyon laban po dito sa kaso ng dating Pangulo?
Klarong-klaro na walang ebidensya yung prosecution. Imagine, lumabas pa sila ng video na ngayon ay yung owner ng video ay talagang nagrereklamo kasi unauthorized yun at saka yung video ay talagang spliced na hindi yun ang context ng video na yan. So, the ICC is guilty of manipulation. At nakita natin na yung ebidensya nila ay coming from persons who are not credible because evidence to be believed must not be only credible but it comes from a credible source. So paano maging credible yung mga self-confessed criminals? So by that alone, talagang questionable na yung ebidensya nila. Sa atin pa lang dito yan, yung credibility pa lang ay zero na. So kung ang ating batayan lang yung ating justice system, talagang from the very first instance, the case can be outrightly dismissed. Ang problema lang ngayon, dahil hindi sa atin, nandoon sa foreign tribunal, which is also raises a question of our sovereignty. Now, talagang masakit dahil ang issue on sovereignty ay malagayan as a nation. Paano itong ating functioning courts at saka yung ating institutions na we believe are really healthy and robust, and this is an admission to the whole world na tayo mismo ang sumira sa ating bansa.
Opo. Attorney, ang sinasabi... Papaano ho ninyo may papaliwanag naman? Kasi ganit yung sinasabi kasi ng prosekusyon, libo-libo yung mga namatay dito nga sa sinasabing extrajudicial killings ng nagdaang administrasyon. So, kanina nabanggit po ninyo, walang credibility itong mga ebidensyang kanilang pinakita, videos, photos, yung mga datos at yung iba pa nag-quote pa from media. Papaano ho niyo maipapaliwanag po ito, attorney? Para maintindihan po ng taong bayan. Kasi ito yung nilalabas na sa ilalim ng administrasyon ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte, libo-libo yung mga namatay.
Okay. As what Attorney Koopman said, itong war on drugs ay global ito eh. Halos lahat na bansa ay nag-declare ng policy against war, against drugs, illegal drugs. So, talagang may mamamatay diyan. Kasi it is a policy. Malinaw naman dito na yung crime against humanity, kailangan niya ng systematic at widespread killing of population, target yung population, civilian population. Wala naman ito kasi it is really a war. So, war against criminals. No, wala namang ebidensya na written order coming from the president na papatayin natin yung lahat ng mga tao kung kahit sino diyan. Ang sabi ng presidente, kahit na yung neutralization, it was found out na it presupposes na there is a threat to the lives of the law enforcers at saka yung punot dulo diyan, you have to subdue and neutralize the criminals. So hindi nagpapakita na patayin indiscriminately as what happened in other countries na talagang may genocide at saka mass killings. Ito ay policy ito eh. Normal yan sa isang bansa, sa isang country na lalo na sa atin na we're already near to a narco state. So that's why the president was elected, because the people saw the problem of drugs that already penetrated almost in all segments of society. So talagang it was a policy. Now, ipinakita pa nga ni Atty. Kaufman na yung mga yung record ng deaths lumulubo pa after the term of President Duterte. So, paano yun? We just set aside those increasing rate of deaths after his term. How about yung deaths na related to drugs before his term? So, klaro-klaro dito ay yung tinasabi dito, Admar, at saka Jade, yung predetermined case theory na that the prosecution has already chosen a target, and that is PRRD. And bahala na, they have to work backwards paano yung pag-gather ng ebidensya. So makita natin dito na talagang determined na, meron na silang target, bahala na ang ebidensya, hahanapin namin later on.
Opo.
So that is really injustice to the highest degree.
Opo. Bagang lumalabas kasi doon sa argumento o sa sinasabi, pahayag po ni Attorney Kaufman, attorney, na hindi mga civilian kundi mga suspected na mga drug syndicate yung mga talagang hinabol at talagang kinalaban ng inatake ng police operations.
Dapat lang, because they are criminals. In the same manner na yung mga kidnappers, yung mga enemies of the state, yun naman talaga ang purpose ng ating law enforcement mechanism natin. That's why we invested a lot for this law enforcement sector, precisely to protect us from harm. And these drugs, those who are involved in drugs, are really enemies of the state. So dapat lang na you have to launch a war against these enemies of the state na nakasinto ito sa drug industry. So ano bang crime nito? Paano yung biktima ng drugs? Yung mga drug cartels, yung mga people who are involved in the operation of drugs. Paano yung mga namamatay? Hindi ba yan i-take care ng ating government? Na the primordial duty of the government is to serve and protect its people. So, part of that duty to protect the people from the menace of drugs. So that is a legitimate policy. Pero hindi ba ito atin lang? Other countries, even in the United States of America, President Donald Trump waged a war against drugs. Kaya nga yung allegation niya doon sa Venezuela. It has something to do with drugs. Sabi niya, tingnan mo, tinira niya yung mga barko doon na allegedly, yung mga frigates allegedly na nagkakarga ng mga drugs kasi ayaw niya na makontaminate yung Amerika ng drugs. So, it's really a war. So, why single out President Duterte? Yan ang masakit yan. At saka, why is it that it is being tried in a foreign tribunal? Na meron man tayong functioning judicial system.
Opo.
Pabalik-balik dito na argument kasamang Jade.
Yes po.
We are parang wounding ourselves. Parang we are telling the whole world that we are inutil, that we are not a country. Imagine, kahit pa nga member tayo ng Rome Statute, itong jurisdiction ay papasok lamang ito as a last resort jurisdiction ng ICC because of the principle of complementarity. How much more na hindi tayo membro ng ICC? So, ang jurisdiction talaga ay mahalaga. At yet, we have surrendered our jurisdiction even if the ICC has no jurisdiction from the very beginning.
Opo.
Kahit nga may jurisdiction, last pa yan, complementarity. Tingnan muna kung ang ating judicial branch of government, yung ating mga justice system ay hindi nag-work. Paano yan masasabi? We have a very functioning judicial system. Meron tayong Supreme Court na yung credibility is beyond question. Meron tayong courts, lawyers, trust our courts, trust our judicial system. Pero ang ating government is saying na we cannot trust our judicial system. Yan ang masakit. Now, Duterte, paano yan? Na kaya pa niyang kontrolon ang mga witnesses? Sila na nga ngayon ang pinipersecute. So, parang it defies logic. Parang bang it is a greatest insult to our intelligence as a people kung sabihan tayong wala tayong capacity to try this particular case.
Oo. Maybe dahil ang sagot po ng DOJ noon na attorney no ni then DOJ Secretary Boying Rimulya, bakit doon sa ICC ginawa itong pagdinig dahil walang sapat na ebidensya dahil nasira na daw yung mga records, yung mga datas at kagagawan na di umano ni dating Pangulong Duterte itong pagkawala. Kaya walang magagawa. Then at the same time, natatakot din yung mga witnesses, yung mga biktima di umano ng extrajudicial killings. Kaya doon sa ICC, ano bang masasabi mo doon?
With all due respect, that is the flimsiest alibi, comical na explanation. Talagang insult our intelligence. Paano ba tayo maniniwala? Ibig sabihin, idala natin si President Duterte doon at saka maghanap pa tayo ng ebidensya? What kind of thinking is that? So, talagang justice has to be served. I don't know how can we be able to get out from this quagmire na as a country, how can we correct this historical injustice na nangyari ngayon?
Sa presentasyon,
To be able to be born as a sovereign nation. Mahirap i-reconcile yan kasamang Jay.
Opo. Doon sa presentation po ni Attorney Kaufman, pinakita niya po yung datos na nasa 3% lang daw ang mga nasawi sa drug war at 97% yung mga na-aresto. Attorney, ano bang masasabi mo dito? 3% lang yung mga nasawi dahil sa drug operations at 97% yung mga na-aresto sa anti-drug operations.
That is the strongest argument to dismiss the case. That shows na there is no widespread at systematic killing. Kaya nga, nakakaya ito. With this number of alleged death, how can we bring this case to a foreign tribunal na whose jurisdiction is about crimes against humanity? And you can just imagine what happened to Milosevic in Yugoslavia. Na lahat, walang pinipili. Pinapatay na because of race, because of religious belief. Pareho kay Hitler. Walang pinipili. Basta mga Hudyo, papatayin. Nangyari ba yan sa atin? Meron bang ganun? Kaya nga, mahirap talaga ipabilib, yung isubo mo sa isipan ng tao na ang nangyari ay isang genocide o isang systematic at widespread killing. Kaya nga, it defies truth. Indefensible yan. Kaya tayo parang palagi tayong nasasaktan. Kaya nga, a lot of mga views ngayon lumalabas na they are not DDS. Mahirap sabihin, parang in-stereotype tayo na parang if we question something that is really questionable, ginagawa ng gobyerno, parang we are already labeled as DDS, parang fanatic. No. If you care about sovereignty, if you care about due process, if you care about humanity, bakit ba? DDS na ba ang mayroong right to feel that kind of sentiment? Any self-respecting person should feel the same. Kaya I cannot imagine those who champion social justice, those who champion human rights, can stomach this glaring insult to our sovereignty, glaring insult to our Bill of Rights. I can't imagine if they can accept, they can stomach that. If you have self-respect left in your person.
Opo.
Yan nga. So, I have so many friends na last 5 years ago, talagang sumisigaw ng katarungan. We share the same beliefs. Pero ngayon, tahimik sila. If it will happen to them, I will still cry out for justice. I will still oppose and reject and condemn this kind of illegal and immoral act that happens to our country, even if it will happen to them, because this is not about one person. This is about our nation. This is about the dignity of our country.
Po. Attorney, doon sa tinatawag na PRRD list, siguro ito yung narco list na sinasabi na pinakita ng prosecution na hinahawakan ng dating Pangulo yung isang dokumento na may mga larawan na may kaugnayan sa illegal na droga. Ito ho ba yung papatunay na isang ebidensya din ho para sa prosecution na maganda para mapatunayan na may link ang dating Pangulo sa anti-drug operations?
Mahina yan. Kasi in order to link the president of the killing of those persons, kailangan yung may written order. At saka meron talagang specific na order na I'm ordering you to kill, God forbid, Jade or Admar Vilando. Meron bang ebidensya ganyan? Wala.
So
It
kailangan,
just, well, lahat may mga listahan yan. So, listahan, because you are in an operation. Pero it doesn't mean na because may listahan si Presidente, now yung PRRD list, meron bang ebidensya that it comes from him? Siya mismo ang nagsumusulat? May listahan. May listahan nga sa utang. Kaya nga, these are all mga circumstantial evidence na hindi it does not reach to the level of proof of guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Kahit na yung reasonable belief that the person under investigation is probably the person guilty of the crime charge. To my mind, hindi yan pumasa sa threshold na yan na requirement.
opo. Ang issue nga, pinagdedebatihan nga yung memo na pinirmahan nga ni dating PNP Chief Senator ngayon, na Bato de la Rosa, tungkol nga po doon sa Oplan Tokhang, Oplan double barrel, itong sinasabi, attorney. At naka-indicate po doon, nagsasabi yung katagang neutralize sa kampanya bilang kontra-droga ng nagdaang administrasyon. Yun po, attorney, kasi nababanggit mo dapat 310 at nakaspecify. And then, ito ngayon, dito sila nagkakadebate sa neutralize either patayin or arestuhin. Nilinaw po ng depensa is pag-aresto po yun at hindi pagpatay.
Tama si Atty. Kaufman because neutralization is defined in the PNP manual. Wala ang definition is not about to kill. It's not a license to kill. It's a term to subdue, to arrest the person suspected or found to be involved in drugs. So, hindi yan pwedeng gawing basihan na mayroong policy direction o mayroong clear-cut na policy to kill anyone involved in drugs. Parang license to kill. Wala. Neutralization is not meant to be that way. Ginawa lang nila yung parang basihan para create sila ng case of crime against humanity against President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, which even the definition of neutralization would contradict and would demolish that kind of assertion.
Opo. Yung presentasyon nga, may table summary table nga pinakita si Attorney Kaufman. Kanina pinakita natin, Attorney. Sabi niya, kahit ipagpalagay natin yung salitang neutralize daw, nangangahulugang napatay, niya hindi naman, wala umanong matibay na katiyakan na direktang may attribute kay Duterte o ng dating Pangulo ang pagkamatay ng mga nasa listahan. Salit tinatayang 5% lamang umano ang posibilidad na magresulta ito sa kamatayan. Ito pong naka-yellow, yan po yung na-neutralized.
Exactly. That is a very strong argument. How can that link? How can that document link to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte? Walang kahit pa any country that has established a judicial system. Hindi lang Pilipinas, hindi lang Amerika, yung mga European countries. Yung evidence na yan normally would not hold water to link a person of a crime if that is the only evidence that is being relied upon by the prosecution.
Opo. Bago ko po ipasok kay... Yes po. Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Opo.
No, it's nothing. Kaya yung even the mga assertions nila talagang contradictory. It would contradict their own case jury. Sila mismo ang nagdi-destroy sa kanilang ebidensya as correctly and intelligently pointed out by Attorney Nicholas Kaufman.
Opo. Well, Attorney, doon sa mga, bago ko ipasa kay Partner Admar, sa mga nakita po natin sa prosecution, hindi po na-establish doon kung paano na-link si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Walang matibay, walang sapat na ebidensya na nagpapatunay na talagang nasa likod, nasa ulo si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte yung talagang nanguna po dito sa ginawang pagpatay. Di umano sa libu-libo daw na mga kababayan po natin.
Jade, for a person to have an unbiased mind, objective mind, God-fearing mind, fair mind, talagang hindi niya matanggap na yung ebidensya na yan ay sapat na magdeklarar na si former President Duterte is guilty of the crime that is being charged against him. But for those who hate Duterte so much, for those who are consumed with the venom of hatred, no amount of evidence can ever convince them. Kasi yung biases nila ay talagang penetrate na to their very soul. Kaya nga, it's really painful to see these persons who are supposed to be guardians of our rights are the ones blinded because of their hatred, animosity against the Dutertes. So, no amount of reasoning na makapag-convince sila kasi sila ay mayroon ng predetermined narrative. At yan ang pinaniwalaan nila kahit walang ebidensya. Kasi because of their extreme hatred to the Duterte, against the Dutertes. So, mahirap i-convince yung ganung mga tao na yun. Saka, they will still believe. They will keep on telling it. Kahit na to the point na they will look comical. Iyan na pinaniwalaan nila. Anyway, history will eventually give justice to this very disappointing and condemnable episode or existence as a country.
Attorney Bukalma, yung buntag si Admar po ito. Opo, kapag may tugon po ang presidente sa isang liham, example ko na lang din po itong liham na ipinadala po ni Vice President Sara Duterte po, no? Kung saan nagtanong ang pangalawang pangulo hinggil nga po dito sa tungkol sa ano ba yung stand, kikilalanin ba, kung magkakaroon ng mga investigasyon. May tuturing po bang polisiya ang magiging tugon na ito ng presidente? Basahin ko lang po, no? In particular dito po sa pinag-uusapan natin. Ang sabi kasi dito ng presidente sa kanyang reply, pwede rin natin may flash sa screen. Sabi niya rito, this has, with respect to your concern, legal or otherwise, on the investigation to be conducted by the International Criminal Court into the previous administration's war on drugs, I remain steadfast in my resolve that the jurisdiction of the ICC over the Republic of the Philippines after the effectivity of its withdrawal therefrom is very much in question. To this end, this government will not assist the ICC in any way, shape, or form. I am certain that all members of my cabinet, including yourself, will echo my views on the matter. As is my sworn duty, I will continue to defend and assert the sovereignty of the Republic of the Philippines at all times. Kumbaga, all the way ba na magiging polisiya na ito, attorney, at sakali man na ito'y hindi nasunod, may pananagutan po ba ang presidente?
That is deception to the highest degree. Kaya nga, I salute to former Solicitor General Minardo Guevara. Siguro, he cannot stomach this deception. Kaya nga, he made a stand before the Supreme Court na as an institution, the OSG cannot defend the position of the government. Okay, that should be the case. But in this case, it shows that the president deceived Sara Duterte, not only Vice President Sara Duterte, but the entire country. This is a deception. Now, kung mayroong pananagutan, let the day of reckoning settle this matter.
Opo, dito naman po sa
Let
usapin...
the events take its course. Let the events take its course.
Opo, attorney, dito naman po sa usapin po, hinggil sa paggalaw, kakayanan ng ating justice system dito sa korte natin, may kakayanan na litisin ang anumang klase po ng kriminalidad na nagaganap po sa ating bansa. Sa tingin nyo po, needed na rin na ma-raise ito din sa ICC kasi ang ginagamit nila na issue ay yung kay Kian de los Santos, which sa panahon ni former President Rodrigo Duterte, na-convict po yung may sala na mga polis at nagpatulong pa nga sa kanya yung mismong mga magulang dito kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. And kung matatandaan din natin, yung 58 din na napaslang sa Maguindanao Massacre po, attorney, though mahaba, since 2009 yung nagawa o nangyari, after 10 years, doon pa nagkaroon talaga ng verdict, resolve pa rin. Kumbaga, meron pa rin po, tuloy-tuloy pa rin po yung justice system po natin. Attorney.
Yun nga. If the ICC is really fair from the very beginning, dapat the ICC should not have exercised jurisdiction. Pero ang nangyari, it's a manna from heaven. Yung dinala, kinidnap si former President Duterte, dinala sa kanila. Parang it was a manna from heaven. And yung revelation ng mga 18 Marines ay talagang very disturbing. Kasi at that instance, may corruption na ang ICC. Kasi dito sabi ng mga, kaya nga, these revelations need to be investigated by the Senate. Kasi seryoso ito eh. It alleges that money is being used for the ICC to conduct its investigation here. So paano yung impartiality na aspect dyan? So the ICC is compromised from the very beginning. Kaya nga, we cannot be surprised. Why is it that the ICC is exercising jurisdiction? And I share the thoughts of the many observers na itong case ni President Duterte ay parang trophy ito ng ICC on its existence. Kasi wala silang ginagawa eh. Ngayon, to fight for its existence para ma-justify yung kanilang budget, ma-justify yung mga contributions ng mga members, they have to show to them we are functioning and we are trying a president of a third world country. If ICC is really assertive of its jurisdiction, why is it that it is inutil to bring to its jurisdiction Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel? Why is it that ICC is inutil in bringing to its jurisdiction Vladimir Putin of Russia and other leaders of strong countries? In other words, ICC is inutil against these countries, but it is alive and kicking to a country like the Philippines, especially because our government is cooperating with the ICC. So, ICC is very happy to try and detained President Duterte. Wala silang pakialam. Pero I just pray that as part of humanity, kahit na puti sila, tayo ay brown, na parang discriminated country in the eyes of other European countries. Sana man their conscience will be awakened. Pero paano yung sila ma-awakened? Na meron naman silang predetermined thinking. Nakikita natin na lahat ng mga balita na there is really a concerted and coordinated effort to condition the minds of the ICC and the European community to demonize and discredit Duterte. Despite the fact that President Duterte is so loved and popular by his people. Kaya maganda yung speech ni Attorney Kaufman na yung si President Duterte is a unique phenomenon. Pero hindi yan that cannot be understood by the ICC judges kasi they are not part, they are not Filipinos. Hindi nila maintindihan yung mga feelings natin. So, yun nga, yung statement ni Kaufman is a very telling statement, strong statement. I hope it will penetrate to the conscience of the ICC judges and even to the prosecutors who become instruments of this political manipulation being undertaken by the government against President Duterte and Vice President Sara Duterte and all the allies of the Dutertes.
Opo. Attorney, huling mensahe na lang siguro, isama mo na yung pagkakalantad din ng 18 Marines na nagsabing may kinalaman o sinuhulan, pinondohan daw yung mga ICC investigation di umano dito sa Pilipinas laban po kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
I think there is now a good move on the part of Senator Amy Marcos, who sponsored a resolution to conduct an inquiry and investigation about this revelation coming from the 18 Marines. We will watch closely and talagang we get involved in this development kasi hindi po pwede na hindi tayo maging vigilant about what is happening to our country. Tutulungan natin ang ating mga magigiting na mga leaders na who are also putting their career, their honor, their lives, and their political future on the line just to help uncover to uncover the truth and to enlighten, to expose these betrayals that happened to our country. These greatest sins na ginawa ng leaders natin against its own people. This must be exposed and yung mga senador natin ay they will be energized if the people are with them and the people are watching them, what they are doing. So, for a democracy to survive, kailangan ng vigilance coming from the people. I have to I have to invoke again the words of Edmund Burke, for the evil to triumph, is good men do nothing. So, we are, kailangan tayo na nakita natin itong mga pangyayaring ito. We cannot just close our eyes. We cannot just, close our ears. We have to be involved and we have to be part of this conversation, of this development. Talagang makikialam tayo dito. Thank you, Isiminay, for your service that you have done to our country.